top you, Mel Brooks said. As a comic, you knew you had a kid audience and you could really go crazy. He'd laugh so hard he'd fall off his chair. He reminded us in show business why we decided not to work in the garment district. He embodied the beauty of entertainment. He was the yellow brick road, the guy who showed us the way to Oz. He was our leader. Carson was also skilled at putting nervous guests at ease. Michael Douglas admitted on Jimmy Fallon's Tonight to being so nervous for his first Carson appearance in 1971 that he wet himself minutes before going on. A hairdryer from wardrobe saved the day. I came out, said Douglas. I was terrified, just frozen. Johnny could tell he was very sweet. Whether it was Burt Reynolds or a hog farmer, he made the star feel like a regular guy and the regular guy feel like a star, said the amazing Kreskin. That down-to-earth attitude was rooted in Johnny's Midwestern background. He was a little boy from Nebraska when he walked through that curtain, comedian Tom Dreesen said. Carson was a true Nebraskan. All he ever wanted for dinner at home or in restaurants was steak and potatoes. Mornings, he made himself instant coffee. For 15 years, he wore the same cable knit cardigan he had gotten when he first came to New York. Expensive hotels made him cringe, and he always insisted on driving himself to work once the show moved to Burbank in the early 1970s. His ability to appeal to middle America was key to his success. Johnny's the naughty boy down the block who says precocious things, Joan Rivers told Newsday. He's young and hip enough to appeal to the young people. He's a Midwesterner in the big city, and the folks back in Nebraska love him. He's boyish enough for the mothers and handsome enough for the younger girls. But Johnny's rise to the top never would have happened without a relentless work ethic and a cutthroat competitive streak. He's a perfectionist, claimed sidekick Ed McMahon. He's determined and intent about things. He's outlandish in the demands on himself. Carson demanded the same commitment from his staff, an unyielding loyalty. When Tonight producer Perry Cross decided to leave the show, he recalled that Johnny, when he found out about it, almost had a heart attack. He was so upset and very angry that I even considered leaving. He doesn't forgive people for his perception of their being disloyal. But if you were in his corner, he was in yours. As long as you remain loyal with Johnny, you were his friend for life, said Tonight producer Stan Irwin. Betty Wesley, assistant to Dick Carson, told me, Johnny was very kind. When the show was still based in New York, he heard that Wesley's boyfriend was in town, and he offered his car and driver and gave Betty the evening off. When she thanked him later, she said, he seemed a little embarrassed. Head writer Marshall Brickman told me he came in for his first day with a temperature of 105. I was in the hospital for 2 months. Carson phoned me saying, don't worry, we're holding your job. When writer Jim Mulholland saw his boss perform at the Sahara in Las Vegas, he said, when I got back to Burbank, Johnny's secretary said he was upset that I didn't go backstage after the show. I'm a shy person, and it never occurred to us to go backstage and bother Johnny Carson. If you needed a friend at a tough time in your life, you had a good one in Johnny, said Tonight drummer Ed Shaughnessy. Johnny had a quiet social life outside Tonight. Manhattan friends like producer and TV talk show host David Susskind and New York City Mayor John Lindsay were close with Johnny. There were dinners with Don Rickles at Danny's Hideaway. During Burbank trips, Johnny and Bob Newhart would shut down Sneaky Pete's. Once he moved to the West Coast, Carson hung out with pals like Steve Lawrence and David Steinberg. He was a fixture at restaurants like Dan Tana's and The Palm. He played in a regular star-studded poker game. Throughout his life, he kept in touch with old friends from Nebraska. You don't get to know Johnny in 2 weeks or even 2 years, said his New York press agent. But once you do, and if he likes you, he's a wonderful friend. Carson was also generous. Tonight assistant Mike Zanella told the story of how he was at a party when Johnny spotted a movie star who was down on his luck. Carson pulled out a big wad of cash and heads an
To keep listening to this audiobook for free, click the link in the description. It will take you to a free Audible trial where you can listen to this and